Hey everybody, Jeremy here from Shade Tree Vintage Auto and DD Auto and Salvage in Logan, Utah. And what a treat we have today. We're gonna go over the actual 1970 Plymouth Road Runner advertisement car. How cool is it? So really, all this does is bring smiles. Like, how cool is that bird on this car? Any of you guys that have seen the factory 1970 Plymouth Road Runner advertisement, you've seen this very car. It was a lemon twist, had the big bird through the hood. There was also a commercial where the bird had a hose and it was, you know, spraying water. I mean, a lot of you guys have seen this car out on car shows. It's been in Mopar Collector's Guide. A lot of you haven't, but here it is. This car was meticulously restored by a gentleman named Dennis Anderson, and wow, what a job he did. The attention to detail on everything. The stripes are all in the correct and accurate positions, which is tough. And you'll see a lot of these cars that are restored and the stripes aren't level, they're in the wrong position. But this is done exactly how it should be. And they're so beautiful. This car, words just cannot express. The car was found in, I believe it was 2003 in Arizona, down on the Indian reservation. And at that time, it was a far cry from what you see it today. And it was found by a good friend of mine named Neil Anderson. And I had the opportunity to actually go down and see the car and pick the car up with him. And what a time that was. And actually here, after I show all this video, I will share some photos of that time. We'll also go over some of the history of this car and its double life that it had, which was still also advertising. But how cool is that? Like, wow. Again, like I said, this car was meticulously restored. They even did all the undercoating correctly. It's just amazing. It's got the rear window defrost. So again, this car was found in 2003. And then just due to life and a lot of different things, it didn't get completed until just a couple years ago. It's made its rounds on the show circuit, and everybody that sees this car absolutely loves it. And I mean, how could you not? I don't care if you're a Chevy guy or a Ford guy or anything. This car is just so stunning. Anyway, let's go over some of the details. So just walking around the car, this lemon twist is just amazing. The dust trail, the white interior, the black top, the hood treatment, the air grabber, 15-inch rallies, just everything about this car. This is about as beautiful of a 70 Road Runner as you could get. I mean, I don't even need to say anything because it's just absolutely stunning. So I'll show you a couple other cool things. So the original door that was on this car, you know, on 70 Road Runners, it had the bird on the passenger side. But we also noticed that it was on the driver's side on this particular car, which is very unique. I've actually only ever seen one other Road Runner that had it on the driver's side, and I don't know that it was factory. But on this particular car, it was definitely put on in the factory. As you can hear, even the buzzer works. The gentleman, Dennis, who did the restoration, did an amazing job. It's got an AM 8-track, 150 speedometer, as all the rally clusters, as well as a tick-tock, and then the 3-speaker dash, you can see. Then, of course, don't forget the sweet beep beep horn on the wood wheel. Now, when the car was disassembled for the restoration, there were some things that we found. Underneath the, at the time, poorly applied lemon twist was lime light. And not just on the body, but everywhere. Underneath the bumper, underneath all the trim, inside the trunk, inside the interior, all sorts of, everywhere, just everywhere, under the vinyl, everything. And so we speculate that not only was this the advertisement car, but it was also the promo video car for the 70 Plymouth Road Runner. And if you will have ever seen it, and if you haven't, I'll put the link down below, just down here. But if you've ever paid attention to the Limelight car, there's a lot of similarities that are kind of rare, such as the rear bumper guards. You've got the 3-speaker dash that you can see. You've got the lighted hood, so you've got the blinkers right here, the indicators. Obviously the air grabber, 446 pack, 15-inch wheels, white vinyl interior with buckets, black vinyl top. So you've got all of that stuff that just matches up, and a lot of that's kind of unique. And I'll show you some clips also, just to kind of go over that. Another thing that also shows that this car was a pre-production example are the door panels. So these are the door panels that were out of the car. And as you can see, this is the rear one, and it was dated June 10th of 69. So that would have been roughly, 2.5 months before production would have even started on the 70. And you can see they are the correct grain, the correct ones. And you'll also notice some Limelight overspray right there. Like I said, there was Limelight everywhere on this car when it was disassembled. Anyway, I'll show you a couple other things. So here is the 440 and 6-pack in the ad car. Also, you can see the fender tag here. It does have the F series, job 183 advertising. And you can also see the M on the Vaughn, which is for manufacturer, as well as the super low sequence number. You can see that it does have E87, but you notice there's no V. And so kind of theory is that the fender tag was built before the actual VIN, the VIN tag, which does show the V, was built. And maybe they hadn't designated V as for the 446 pack. Again, that is just theory. We don't know. But that is the fender tag that was on the car when it was found in Arizona and prior to restoration. And I believe I have some pictures of that time that I'll share at the end of the video. But just gorgeous, a beautiful restoration underneath, all the wiring, everything is just immaculate. Got the 6 barrels, the air grabber. It's just gorgeous. Now another thing, and this was like this when the car was found, And I believe just because it was a pre-production example, but you'll notice the 3 studs with nuts similar to the 70 Coronet. That's just something that was on this car when it was found. And when we were disassembling the car back then, we noticed that and thought it was really kind of bizarre. But that's the factory piece. That's how it was from the factory on this particular car. Vacuum pod, I mean, just everything on this is just amazing. It's just beautiful. You could look at that for days. It's just a work of art. So here are some of the photos that I took when I went down with Neil after he found the car. The car was found on the Navajo Nations down in Fort Defiance. And as you can see, it was pretty rough. There was no engine, transmission, seats were gone, missing a lot of parts. It was pretty rough, but it was a really cool car. And we knew what it was by the fender tag and the low sequence number, and then just looking at the options and everything, and then looking at the ad. We picked up the car, I want to say it was in November of 2003, brought it back to Utah, and then it kind of went in storage for a little while. Then, like I stated earlier, it was disassembled for restoration, and we found all of the limelight, and kind of speculate that it was painted that way for the promo. And like I said, the link will be down below. This car is just so cool and so much history, and it's just an amazing item. Dennis did a great job on the restoration. And anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and a little bit of history and seeing how it looked before. And thanks for watching, and have a great day.